Welcome to every movie I've ever seen. This is a special March Madness edition where throughout the month of March I'm going to be reviewing Clive Owen movies tournament style to figure out which one is best. Now, the movie that I'm talking about today is Last Nights. I wasn't going to watch this movie particularly because from the look of it, it seemed like maybe like Morgan Freeman. Maybe it would really be a Morgan Freeman movie, but no, it's very much a Clive Owen movie. Morgan Freeman's not in it all that much. I guess he just gets high billing because he's a well-known name. And also, I didn't have access to this movie, but I did end up getting HBO Max for 4 hours worth of reasons. So I decided to look up on HBO Max if there were any Clive Owen movies. So there you go. I don't gotta go to extra methods to find a movie, which is always good. But yeah, so Last Nights, it's a medieval-esque movie. I'm not really sure about where and when this takes place. It's just meant to be feudal, you know, there's kings and emperors and knights and all that stuff. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be Middle Ages, probably not. There's some stuff that doesn't seem right if it is. It's probably just supposed to be some type of like Skyrim, Game of Thrones, other medieval world. So that's probably what it is. Clive Owen plays a knight. He's like the leader of the knights, and their master, played by Morgan Freeman, he gets insulted or whatever, and then he gets executed. And so they gotta formulate a plan to get him back. Clive Owen spends a good amount of time pretending to be a drunk loser to throw off the scent of the guy they're trying to kill. A real slimy looking dude. That's like good casting. Oh, this movie is weird because it has a lot of weird casting. I'm not sure how I feel about Clive Owen playing a knight. It seems like an odd choice, but then it also kind of works. I could kind of see him in like Game of Thrones. I mean, he does pretty good, sword fighting in this movie. I could have seen that in Game of Thrones. Like maybe if when they had that Tower of Joy flashback, if they wanted to get someone with a little bit more star power to play that little cameo of Arthur Dane, that could have been interesting. But yeah, and Morgan Freeman is also odd. He doesn't have the look of like a fantasy, or like I don't know. He had a weird facial hair too. It's very odd casting, but the bad guy, he definitely like seems slimy. He like looks like he smells, which is an odd thing to pull off. But yeah, and the movie is fine. It's enjoyable for the most part. Maybe a little longer than it had to be. I think it's like 2 hours and something. So that's a lot. But nothing original or special or anything. But it's enjoyable, kind of satisfying. It's nice to see the plan come together, and he kind of has his like Kaiser Sose moment. Kaiser Sose. I completely butchered that. Wow. Where he finally realizes that the one sword guy isn't following anymore, so he drops the act and he sets the plan into motion. But yeah, so this movie, it was fine. It was okay. It's enjoyable, I guess. I haven't seen a whole lot of knight action. I mean, knight medieval action fantasy movies besides like Lord of the Rings, but that doesn't really count because it's like more mythological fantasy, orcs and goblins and elves and shit. But yeah, this movie goes up against Children of Men. One of these will go on to sent him up to the very last quarterfinals, and for some reason there's this like small gut part of me that wants to put last night ahead just for the hell of it, but I know I can't do that. I got to go with Children of Men moving on into the quarterfinals. I feel like if I didn't, people would be demanding my head on a pike. So yeah, I mean, Children of Men is of course a much, much, much better movie than this, but it's also interesting to know this is the second movie in a row that Clive Owen has died. He died in Children of Men. He died at the end of this. Assumedly, they tried to do some cliffhanger thing where he opens up his eyes as if he was going to fight back, but that wouldn't work. He's definitely going to die. So it's 2 movies in a row where Clive Owen dies. Now the movie that I'm watching next, he plays Hemingway. So wonder how that's going to end. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about last night's